Made 20 mil, no, it's crazy, but the shit true. Big G, whack like Dutch, it was Babe Blue, feeling out going. Might as well have been a Gemini, like a bad bitch in the back of the seminar. Walk around real raw with it like an Indian nigga. Won't beef, no money, please come again. I don't understand, no bands, nigga, no beef, nigga, you a clown. I can tell cause the ass cheap, bro. Don't smoke a big pound like a
yeah! Come on, man.
Nigga, he both ain't even at the top spot. One car, niggas in the like a dreadlock, crack to the deadlock, fucking like it's wet lock. Young money, bed rock, bad bitch, freckles on the face like carrot top. Get your head chopped.
Yeah!
Opposite of emo, still a hot topic.
Yeah! What's going on, man? Ooh. Ooh. What's going on, man? I ain't done that in a minute, man. I haven't done that in a little minute. But what's going on, people? How y'all doing? Hi. It's been a little minute. It's been just a little short time, but nevertheless, we're back with another episode of the Lazy Cast. I'm your gracious host, Jalen, as always. But as you can see, I'm in a different place. Chilling right now, you know, had to take care of some things, some personal things, you know. And that's why I haven't made a video in a very long time, actually. But yeah, we back, being more consistent. Had to, you know what I'm saying, do some work stuff, take care of some other things and things of that nature. But nevertheless, we are back. I will say though, I'm gonna miss having Grogu and the poster right there. Don't worry, I didn't get rid of it. It's still, you know, I have it in a safe place. You know, I'm gonna make sure I have it, you know, have it back pretty soon. But until then, y'all just gotta deal with my face and deal with this shirt for a concert that I didn't go to. But shout out to my dad, his lovely girlfriend, Courtney, and my little brother who got me this shirt. So, nevertheless, what's going on, man? You know, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Let me stop. But we have quite a bit to talk about in terms of basketball-related news. I'm gonna talk about actually talk about what's that called? College basketball. Because I feel like this news was too big to not talk about, with Caitlin Clark and being the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history for just basketball, period. Talking about that, talking about the Celtics and how they just smashed the Golden State Warriors by 50 of them things, and really who can beat this team. And is this finally the year for not only Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, for just all of Boston to finally get over the hump? And finally, with UFC 299 literally being this week, I'm going to talk about the card and giving my thoughts strictly on just predictions and things of that nature. And yeah, man, finna have some fun, bro. We finna have some fun on this one. Obviously, I ain't done that. The little music thing. I ain't had Yachty playing the intro in a little minute. But I figure I can't just come out here high and dry and just give you a regular ass intro. I wanted to have it be a little special. So yeah. Also, if you hear air blowing, I have a fan in the background going. It's a little hot, so just bear with me. But before I get into anything else, a couple things I need y'all to do for me. Just like, comment, subscribe, post notice, all that good things. And just make sure you tell your mama, tell your friend, tell your dad, tell everybody that you know about the Lazy Cast. And we're just gonna get straight into it and talking about the Celtics and how the Celtics beat the Golden State Warriors, like I was talking about earlier. They beat them, I believe it was not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, 144-88. Now, I saw this stat the other day that said this is the third time this season, 140, I'm sorry, to 88, but this is the third time this season that the Celtics have beat a team by 50 points. Third time, not the first, not the second. This is the third time that the Celtics have beat a team this season alone by 50 points. I got those three teams for you right here. Let's quickly go through these three teams real quick. And what is school? I know one was the Pacers, one was the Warriors, obviously. And I believe the other one, yeah, here it is. The Pacers, they beat the Pacers 155 to 104. Beat the Nets 136 to 86. And then obviously they beat the Warriors 140 to 88. Steph Curry had one of his worst games, the worst half of his career in the first half. Had only 4 points, 0 of 9 from really the field. Jaylen Brown took the challenge and essentially picked him up 94 feet. Was able to lock him down. The Celtics, I think, what's so dangerous about this team is that they have so many bodies that they can throw at you defensively. I'm not even just talking about their offense yet, which is some of the best offense in the league, top 5 offensive team in the league. But I think what really shines about this Celtics team is that defensively, they have so many bodies that they can just throw at you, especially in that starting 5 alone. When you look at that starting 5, you have a Drew Holiday, a Derek White, a Jason Tatum, a Jaylen Brown, and a Kristaps Porzingis, and you have someone off the bench like Al Horford, who can still stay in front of some ones and twos here and there, not as much as he used to when he first was in Boston, but he can still stay in front of them, and he still is able to hold his own in the paint against certain bigs like a Joel, like he was playing, like these bigs like Anthony Davis, a JJ, a Giannis, etc., etc., etc. So the Celtics team, I think, is very dangerous. And I'm not the first person to only think of that. Obviously, these guys are a lot of people's favorites right now to win it all. And I mean, it's hard to argue against this team. And yes, this is coming from a Bucks fan. I'm, through and through, I bleed green with the Bucks. But God damn it, I can't lie and say that this team is not the most talented team that I've seen in a very long time. A very long time. I won't say most talented team ever, but it's, man, this team is definitely up there. This is for sure the most talented team that Boston's had in a very, very long time. You can make the argument this is the most talented team since 08 with the Celtics. And I know people are going to say, oh, what about 2019? What about 2019? That team in terms of stat sheet, I mean, on the stats and the roster, yes, talent-wise, you can make the argument it was a little bit better. But I'm giving this 2024 version of the Celtic a little bit more edge because of the simple fact that defensively, holy shit, this team is scary. It's scary how many bodies that they can throw at you, how they're able to just switch and switch and switch and switch and not miss a step. And I think that's what the biggest thing is about with the Celtics is that their ability to not miss a step after the switch. A lot of teams can't really produce or duplicate what the Celtics can do. I say a lot, not every team can. I feel like there's some that are that exception. You have a Minnesota Timberwolves team that can sort of duplicate that. The Orlando Magic early on, before they kind of fell off a cliff, they had something similar to that. The Thunder, to a certain degree, has something similar to that. Not to the highest level of a Timberwolves or even the fucking Boston to that level. But it's not many teams that can go from, we switch off on our guard, which is Derek White, one of the best defending guards in all of the NBA, to switch off on Jason Tatum, who's one of the best two-way players in the league. Okay, let's go switch on Al Horford. Oh, wait, he can guard too. Oh, let's go get Porzingis. Oh, wait, he can guard too. Oh, let's go. You really can't pick on really anybody on this team. And even if you want to go deep in that bench where you get a Peyton Pritchard, a Sam Hauser, and these goes, they're not like studs defensively, but damn it, they play hard. And Joe Mazzulla has got this team bought into the system. And it meant, like I said, this team is going to be very, 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 very scary. Very scary come playoff time. And I think that's what a lot of people is really coming to see, because they currently, I believe, are on pace to win about 65 to 67 games. Fuck, if they keep going like this, they could not 70. Who knows? But I will say that this for sure, this Celtics team is going to be very hard to beat. And I realistically, I really want to be non-biased and be very realistic right here. I really don't see nobody in the East beating them in terms of coming out the East, because the top contender that you have would be the Philadelphia 76ers when Jokic, when the Embiid comes back. But even then, Embiid, I think his biggest thing is worried more about getting past the second round. And also health, obviously, is a big question for him. And the Bucks, they got their own problems, so I won't even really. I mean, maybe come playoff time, they're able to fix some things. Chris Middleton has kind of sort of, started to come into his own a little bit. Patrick Beverley has been a really good pickup for us, or for them, I should say. And you don't want to count out this team. So I'm not, because every time you count this team out, they do crazy shit like last year when they were the 8th seed and made it all the way to the finals. I'm going to include Miami, but the thing is, I'm hesitant. The reason I'm hesitant to include Miami is just for the simple fact that Boston is just so dominant this year. They're so dominant this year that in all my heart, I truly believe that no matter the amount of playoff Jimmy, playoff Bam, whether Tyler Heroes, I truly think that none of that is going to matter. And if Boston and Miami matches up in the playoffs, that Miami will probably get beat in 5 games. I don't think Miami holds a candle to Boston right now. And I understand playoff Jimmy is very much a thing. Trust me, I witnessed it with my own eyes multitude of times, as we all have. But this Boston team is on a totally different level, and it's going to be very hard to see them beat. Now, I will say this, and let me big screen myself for this. This year, there's no excuses. Absolutely zero excuses for the Celtics. No excuses for Jason Tatum, who coming into the season I had being a top 5 player in the league, if I remember correctly. There's no excuses for him. There's no excuses for Jaylen Brown, who had a shit ton of money coming into this year. There's no excuses for anybody else. There's no excuses. None. So if y'all don't get it done this year, and I'm not just saying get back to the finals, I'm not just saying get out the East, I'm saying get the job done. None. There's nothing else that could relatively be said, anything going forward. Nothing. Because I'm not saying blow it up. I'm not saying separate Jaylen Brown and Tatum, because they're still very young. Jason Tatum literally just turned 26. And I believe Jaylen Brown is a year older than him, so he's 27. So technically, they haven't even entered. They're not even in their primes, technically. They're going into their primes. But if this year they don't get it done, I generally don't see how they are able to get it done going forward. Because of the simple fact that this year, if they don't get it done this year, they have a lot of expiring contracts coming into next year. A lot of expiring contracts. And teams are going to want to throw money at a Peyton Pritchard. Teams are going to want to throw money at a Derek White. They're going to want to throw money at a at a Kristaps Porzingis. People are going to want to throw money at these guys. People wondering if Drew's going to come back. Wondering if Al Horford, this might be his last hurrah. So I feel like while you have all the pieces right now, while you have all the talent right this second, you do not squander that. Do not squander that. Please don't. So is championship a bust? Like, honestly. And if you have Boston fans or other fans like, oh no, this is just no, it is championship a bust this year for the Celtics. I'm being very serious. They had championship aspirations coming into this season. And now with how dominant they are being and how they're separated from everyone else, how they're up here and everyone else is essentially like down here to them, is championship or bust this year. And if they don't get the job done, hey, hey man, hey, we're gonna have to start having some serious conversations, man. We're gonna have to start having some serious conversations. Not too harsh, because again, Tatum, Brown, they're relatively are still very young. This is like what the second year Jason Tatum's being a first number one option on a championship contending team. So I won't give him too much, depending on how they perform in the playoffs. But we gotta wait and see. In terms of a team that I could see relatively beating them in the finals, I really could only see maybe Denver, the Clippers. Really, those are like the only two teams that I could see giving them pushing them to like 6-7 games. Other than that, I think they beat everybody else in the West. I think I don't want to say steamroll, but I don't think they have much problems coming out of the East. But again, hey, we got to see how they perform, man. We just got to see how they perform come playoff time. But there's no point of looking at the Warriors stats. Like I mentioned, Steph, only 4 points. Clay played horribly. Everyone played horribly. Every single body played horribly. And is really nothing else you can do. Shot 17% from three as a whole. It's crazy. They've only lost 3 games as a team at home. 29-3, and 48-12 as a whole. And obviously Tatum had 27, Jaylen Brown had 29, picked up Curry for majority of the game, defensively, I should say. 14 for Derek White, 7-7 from Al Horford. Kristaps, who wasn't even playing this game, when they'll get him back eventually, obviously. Hauser off the bench had 12, and Peyton Pritchard chipping in with 19. So like I said, man, this team is very dangerous. This team is quite the dangerous bunch. So we just gotta wait and see. But going forward, to just recap some of the games from Sunday, the Sixers are still somewhat holding on. I'm actually surprised. I didn't thought they was gonna fall off a cliff after Joel got injured, but they seem to be holding on. The Mavs have kind of cooled down a little bit after that loss to Cleveland, which you hate to see it, but you got the Sixers beating the Mavs, Clippers barely beating the Timberwolves. Man, when I got the notification for this game, I thought it was fake. I thought this was like the score for like the third quarter. I'm like, damn, this shit is a low scoring ass game. It was that third quarter that's what fucked them up. Right here. That third quarter, the motherfuckers was not scoring at all. But the Clippers beat the Timberwolves. Pistons lose to the Magic. The Hornets lose to the Raptors. Knicks beat the Cavs without Jalen Brunson. He went out with that game. Pacers lose to the Spurs, and the Thunder beat the Suns. Now, looking at Monday's game, which was yesterday, we had the Grizzlies beating the Nets, the Clippers losing to the Bucks. Whoa, 41 from Damian. Yes, Damian. The Trailblazers losing to the Timberwolves, the Wizards losing to the Jazz, the Bulls behind Kobe White's 37. That's a tough ass game. 113 and 109. And then obviously the game of the night, we have the Lakers beating the Thunder. And I actually wanted to go in to look at this game because a certain man had himself a game with a D'Angelo Russell. I saw so many people online was saying, man, trade deadline D'Lo is a top 5 player ever in NBA history. And I believe him, because ever since that trade deadline, this nigga has not stopped shooting the ball consistently very well. But looking at the stats for the Lakers, AD chipped in with 24 and 12. LeBron chipped in with 19, 11, and 8. D'Lo, like I mentioned, had led all scorers, I believe, with 26. Yeah, he led all scorers with 26 points, hitting 5 threes, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. Okay, D-Lo. Plus minus of 4. Getting off the bench, Torian Prince chipping in with 14. It's a much needed win from this Lakers team. And I don't know what the Lakers are. Be honest with you. I don't know what the Lakers are. I don't know what they are. Also, another thing that I wanted to talk about was essentially the MVP thing. I'm going to make my own video later this week talking about who I think, essentially giving my predictions on the MVP and defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, et cetera, et cetera. But, spoiler alert, this guy's really good at basketball. Spoiler alert, this guy's really good at basketball, Chad. This guy's quite good at basketball. And I'm not going to say who I think should be the MVP right now, but he's definitely up there. But yeah, but going back to the Lakers, I don't know what to make of this team. I generally don't know what to make of this team. LeBron James just got 40,000 points. 40,000, but they lost the night he got the 40K. And as we can see, Stephen A is right there. To Stephen A's point, every time that the Lakers have a monumental achievement, every time that they have something big happen, Kobe statue, they lost. LeBron got the scoring title, they lost. I mean, that's not the scoring title, the all-time leading scorer, they lost. 40K, they lost. I don't know, man. I'm not going to say Stephen A is right in that sense, but he does have somewhat of a point. Just the tiniest of a point. Just somewhat of a point. But I generally don't know what to make of this team because one night they look phenomenal. One night they look really, really good. They look like they can, like the same team of last year, making it to the Western Conference Finals. Very close games against the eventual champions being the Denver Nuggets. And then some nights they look like they don't deserve to be on the court with anybody. They can lose to the fucking Pistons some nights. And it's just like, it's hard to really gauge this team because I believe they're currently like the 9th or 10th. They're currently in the play-in, if I'm correct. They're currently in the play-in as we speak. But I'm so just like, I don't know. I'm so like just iffy on this team. Yeah, if we look right now at the standings, the Lakers are the 9th seed and the Warriors are the 10th seed. So I don't know, man. It's weird talking about this Lakers team. Just lost my voice. It's weird talking about this Lakers team. Really, it's weird talking about all these teams in the play-in because of the simple fact that one, outside of really the top 3-ish, 4-ish, the top 3, all these all these records are within like a couple wins. They're all within like a couple wins from each other. So like they're 2 behind. These motherfuckers are all these 7 through 9 literally all have the same amount of wins right here. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's weird. They're the only, but the Lakers being the only team with a negative point differential, it's kind of crazy. But I don't know. Man. It's kind of it's interesting, bro. It's really interesting when you think about this team and all these teams really in the play-in because you feel like they should be better than what they were and than what they are. With the Kings, you could say that I could really say the same thing. The Mavericks, they're kind of catching steam a little bit again after that Cleveland loss. They've been losing a little bit lately, but nevertheless, they're still trying to get their flow together and all that stuff, trying to incorporate Gafford and PJ Washington and all those things. And then the Lakers have been, I don't want to say drama, but the Lakers have definitely been something. And Golden State, that's the definition of drama with this team. So I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird talking about these really 4 teams because you feel like they should be better than what they are. And then looking at the top 6, you kind of expect the same thing with the East. Top 6, again, the fact that the Bucks are 8 games behind. But if the Bucks was in the Western Conference, they would be what? The 3rd, 4th? They would be the 4th seed if the Bucks was in the Western Conference. And if you want to just go overall league, so they would be really they would be the 4th seed. So yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. I'll eventually do my own personal probably segment of videos talking about these teams in the Western Conference, essentially. But that's it. That's it. Switching over to college sports, we have a certain special someone to talk about. That being Caitlin Clark, who not only has the all-time NCAA basketball, not women's, not men's, just basketball scoring record. Recently passing up Pete Maravich, declaring for the draft with the Indiana Fever. Most likely going to take her number 1 overall. Who wouldn't? I know I would. And simply just talking about essentially, is she the GOAT of college basketball? And it's hard to argue no. But it's hard to argue no, but it's hard to argue yes. It's hard to argue no, but damn it, it's hard to argue. You know, it's hard to argue no, bro. Because Pete Maravich, that Pete Maravich record has been around for a long ass fucking time. That Pete Maravich record been around for a long ass time. But let's quickly go over, look at her numbers this year. Caitlin is averaging 32.3 points per game with 7 rebounds, damn near 9 assists, shooting a cool almost 47% from the field. Oh, they're in the Big Ten tournament. That's nice. And then just looking at her last couple of games, she's going from 35, 33, 24, 49. Whew. Dog, again, it's really hard to really not say she's the best. She's certainly the best women's basketball player I've ever seen. Well, Maya Moore was cold. I'm not gonna lie. Maya Moore was different. I'm not gonna lie. When Maya Moore was, if y'all know who Maya Moore is, just look up her UConn highlights. Maya Moore, when she was playing, was different. I'm not gonna hold you, but I will say this though, she is definitely up there as one of the greatest. Not only just, not even just. I think that's what is making her so transcendent and just so special is that she's not only arguably the greatest women's basketball player we've ever seen, just strictly in college. She haven't even touched pro ball yet in the WNBA, but the fact that you can realistically make an argument that she's one of the greatest college athletes and college basketball players we've ever seen in a very long time. The stuff that she's doing, the ability to shoot from 3, the ability to facilitate and get her teammates involved, really is otherworldly. And to see that type of progress just essentially game in and game out, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy, man. I'm just saying, man, it's crazy. And really, even last year, she wasn't essentially on the same. She was on the same shit last year, really. Yeah, she was doing crazy shit last year. It's just that this year now, because of obviously the women's championship against LSU last year, it's just more televised now. But god damn, look at these numbers: 35, 49, 32, 37, 42, 45, 38, 40. God, Lee, boy, for the man. Yeah, man. She might be the GOAT, bro. she might be the GOAT, bro. How old is she? How old is Caitlin Clark? I'm actually curious now. How old is she? All right, man. What the fuck is this? Bro, what? Nah, I can't find it. But actually, I'm curious now. She's a senior. She's what? She can't be no older than like 24. She can't be no older than 20. I'm gonna say 24. Let's say 24. She's 22. Damn, she's young. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. So you telling me we most likely, and she doesn't, from what I'm seeing, she doesn't really have injury history like that. Like really doesn't seem to be getting injured like that, like crazy. She really don't be seem to be getting injured. It seems like she plays majority of damn near every single game from what I'm seeing. Damn, was she in the women's championship every year? She was in the women's championship since her rookie year, since her freshman year. Lost to UConn. I actually do remember that game. Lost to UConn. I remember that. Lost to Creighton. Put up a cool 15. Bad shooting though. But at bad shooting 4 of 19. And then obviously last year she lost to LSU. Oh man, that stigma gonna go crazy if she can't get it this year. Niggas gonna be like, oh man, she can't get over the hump. I can already smell that stigma coming. But yeah, man, it's crazy. She's 22, and the way that players are being healthy today, Indiana don't got a cooler 20 years. Indiana got a cooler 20 years out of Kayla, man. But shout out her breaking the record. And yeah, man, it's something, dog. It's definitely something. Yeah, she's just a lot for records, man. But moving on, going to the UFC with UFC 299 happening Saturday night. And just simply looking at that card, let me pull up the card really fast. Excuse me. Look at that card. Obviously, with the main headliner being Sean O'Malley versus Cheeto Vera. I'm so excited. I can't contain my excitement just for the simple fact that I'm ready. I'm really ready. Really ready. Oh shit. Is France? Oh yeah, Francis is fighting. I forgot Francis Ngannou was fighting. He's not fighting tonight, is he? Is Francis Ngannou fighting tonight? No way. Is he fighting tonight? I don't think he is. Because I know he's fighting Anthony Joshua soon, but I don't think he's fighting tonight, is he? If he's fighting tonight, then fuck. That's kind of. I got Francis. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If he's fighting tonight, I got Francis. I'm just telling you right now. I don't think it's tonight, but I know he's fighting this week. I know that for a fact. I know that one for a fact. I know he's fighting sometime this week. If he's fighting tonight, then I'm picking Francis. After what he did against Tyson Fury, I'm not gonna bet against that man ever again in my life. I'm gonna just be honest with you. But yeah. 299 is here, baby. 299 is here. That wasn't a 9, that was a 6 I threw it, but whatever. Sean O'Malley versus Cheeto Vera, giving Sean O'Malley his first loss of his career. This is going to be a striking masterclass. I wish today was Friday. I cannot lie to you. I really, really, really wish today was Friday so I could wake up tomorrow and watch it. But nevertheless, I wanted to get this out. at least somewhere early because I know I've been kind of slacking on my UFC stuff. But let's not jump. Let's not jump straight into the main dish. Let's work our way up to it. Damn, the prelims is kind of stacked too. Almeida versus Curtis Blades. I remember that was supposed to happen, but it never did. Gamrot is fighting RDA. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna strictly leave it main card, but if I was to do these, I'm taking Pedro. I'm taking Gamrot. Sorry, RDA, the legend, but nigga getting up there in age. Even though, is he a favorite? He's kind of is he considered a favorite? Oh no, he's an underdog in this. These two are tied, really? Almeida wouldn't be considered a favorite in this? That's interesting. Well, he does have the wrestling advantage, but still, I would think that Almeida would be considered a favorite in this. That's interesting. But yeah, Pedro, Gamrot, Barber, and I'm taking Almeida. But moving on to the main card, we have Peter Yan back in action facing Song Dong. He's had some very, I don't want to say controversial losses because I feel like the fight with him and Sean O'Malley, rewatching it could have went either way. In that moment, in that space of time, I was leaning more towards Peter Yan when the fight happened. But I can see why people would say O'Malley would have won that, especially now having that idea of what is control time versus significant damage. You know, does control time really win you points, even if you're not doing anything on set ground, opposed to actually doing damage on the feet, but continuously getting taken down? That conversation is going to go on and on and on and on for years to come. So unless they put like a significant point system in that explains, like, hey, if you have X amount of time on the ground, you get X amount of points. If you give up X amount of takedowns, the other fighter gets X amount of points, etc., etc., etc. But the UFC will never do that shit. So, nevertheless, Peter Yan, I'm leaning more towards Peter because he has the takedown advantage. He has a wrestling advantage. And I think his time away and also his time. Fuck. I'm gonna say Yan. I'm gonna say Peter Yan by decision. I don't think he finishes Song because Song is also a really good fighter too. But I'm gonna say Peter Yan by decision. I think he gets, get that one win to get him, get going back in the bantamweight division. Because if O'Malley does beat Cheeto, who would be next in line for Cheeto? I mean, for O'Malley. That would be something else that we'd have to think about going forward. But, maybe Yan racks off a win or two, gets him going. We'll see. But moving on, we have Gilbert Burns being the underdog in this, actually. Being the underdog against Jack Della Madela. So, yeah. The last time we saw Gilbert fight was that against Jorge? I believe that was against Jorge Masvidal when he retired. Was it? I believe, was it against Jorge? What did he had? I could have sworn he had another fight where he like fucked up his shoulder. Or am I thinking? I could be tweaking. Let me actually see. Oh, it was. Oh no. Okay, so the Jorge fight I was right about the Jorge fight, but he fought Benil, and that's the fight where he fucked up his shoulder. Okay, I was right. So yeah, because I know he fucked up his shoulder in one fight. And then Jack, I know Jack was supposed to fight quite a while ago, but I think he was hurt too. Yeah, he was supposed to fight sometime. He was supposed to fight. I think he was supposed to fight Ian Gary. I think, but he got hurt or something, so they had to switch their opponent. Or I think it was something like that. So, two really good strikers. I think Jack would have significant advantage in striking. Obviously, you have a Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I would give the huge advantage to Gilbert, even though Gil isn't really that great on the ground. But opposed to Jack, who's also not very good on the ground as well. Um, this has fight of the night potential right here. Really, all these next three cards, these next three fights right here, all have fight of the night potential with Dustin, Kevin, and Gilbert. But I'm gonna lean towards this one. I think this gets fight of the night. I don't think Jack or Gil finishes each other, but it solely depends if he wants to try to wrestle. If he tries to implement wrestling, or not even wrestling, but implement some of that Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I think he can win this fight, and I think he could potentially get a finish on the ground. Excuse excuse me, because I don't. Jack really doesn't. Jack struggles against struggles against wrestlers or jiu-jitsu type dudes. But the thing is, Gil is so kind of just either in or just below average in that. But I feel like even if he's just somewhat middle, just somewhat in the middle of that, and I think he'll be okay enough on the ground. But obviously, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm leaning towards more Jack because I just feel like he's the better fighter on the ground. Um, I don't think he finishes him because Gil has a strong chin, like a very strong chin. But I think he does get the job done. So I'm gonna say Jack. Ah, fuck. Ah, this is tough. I'm gonna say Jack unanimous decision. I'm gonna say Jack unanimous decision. No, 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 no. Gil gonna get around. I'm gonna say Jack split decision. I'm gonna say Jack split decision. I'm gonna say Jack split decision. This Peter Yan fight gonna be unanimous decision though. Unanimous decision, split decision. Okay. This fucking fight is gonna be so much fun. All right, man. This fight is gonna be something. Okay. So if you do not know who Michael Page is, or Michael Venom Page, or MVP, he made his name well known outside of the UFC. Kind of like what Michael Chandler was before he got to the UFC. His big name and all that stuff, he made his name against essentially in Bellator, PFL. Essentially, if there was another company or another, mainly Bellator, but if it was a company outside of the UFC, MVP was there. So very obviously a really good striker. Looking at these, strictly looking at these numbers, signature strike accuracy is crazy. Being at fucking 84% is absurd. And also signature strikes landing around basically 5. Crazy. He's still, I don't want to say he's too old, but he's still in that ripe age to where he could, make some shake. And then this being in the welterweight division will be very interesting to see. I'm gonna get to Kevin Holland in a little bit, but I didn't watch too much stuff outside of the UFC. Again, kind of same thing with wrestling. I didn't watch too much stuff that was outside of the WWE because I'm just kind of like a homer guy. I like sticking with my main shit. But I did venture off and watch TNA. And for the UFC, excuse me, when I wasn't watching that, I was watching two things. I was watching the One Championship. I was watching a little bit of Bellator, and the one motherfucker I did watch a lot was this guy. So I'm interested because I'm very interested to see how this fight is going to go. This, again, another fight that could potentially win fight of the night. I don't. I'm tempted to. I want to lean towards MVP just because it's his debut, and I would really like to see him. I don't want to say climb the ranks, but I really want to see him. Get a couple wins under his belt, and make some shit shake. But I really like Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is a really Kevin Holland is a damn good dude, bro. Kevin Holland is a really good dude. The classic that he put on with Wonder Boy not too long ago. Yeah, man. Whew, this is gonna be a tough ass fight. It's gonna be a tough fight. I'm gonna say Kevin Holland. I'm gonna say Kevin Holland by do I want to say stoppage? No. Does he finish MVP? I think, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and I think Kevin Holland finishes MVP. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I say Kevin Holland finishes him. I'll say he finishes him in the third round. I think it'll be a damn good fight though. I think they will go back and forth. I think MVP probably gonna come out. Or let me just say Paige. I feel like Paige is gonna come out really strong in the gates. Holland is going, who has the wrestling advantage. I don't. The thing is, Kevin Holland has that wrestling advantage, but the thing is, you really rarely see him use it. You rarely see him use it. In the Wonder Boy fight, he could have easily took Wonder Boy down, didn't use it. Jack Del Maida fight, could have taken him down, really didn't use it. He just, with strikers, he likes to really test himself and be like, hey, you want to strike with me? All right, I'm going to strike with you. Let's get shit out. But with this, I would honestly say that if he tries to strike with MVP, I think he might lose that battle. I think he loses that if he strikes with Paige. I think he does. I'm not gonna lie. I think he loses that battle if he tries to strike with him, just purely striking. And if he generally wants to win this fight, if he just wants to put on a good show, then we can just forget striking. We can just forget wrestling. I mean, just forget that. But if he truly wants to win this fight, I think he implements some of his wrestling ability, because I believe Holland's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, if I'm not mistaken. Implement some of that jiu-jitsu abilities and things of that nature. And I think he does finishes him. Does he knock him out or think he gets a sub? I think he knocks him out. I'm not gonna lie. Or TKO rather. I don't think he knocks him out. I think he gets a TKO. But I'm gonna say Kevin Holland, who is the favorite in this going into this fight, but I'm gonna say Kevin Holland. But again, I would not be surprised if MVP gets this win. I generally would not be surprised. Now, for the co-main event for UFC 299, we have Dustin Poirier coming off getting stopped by Justin Gaethje for the BMF belts against Benoit Saint Denis, who is an absolute train of a man, of a machine, of a unit. And I think this ends in the same way that the Justin Gaethje fight ends. I think that Benoit stops him. And I really like Dustin. Over the years, I've grown to really appreciate Dustin a little bit more than I probably didn't do in my earlier years of watching UFC. I wasn't the biggest fan of him. I didn't hate him necessarily, but I just was like, he's kind of whatever. I thought he was kind of boring. I was like, whatever. But over the years, I've gone to appreciate and learn and just be a little bit more adept with this mixed martial arts shit. I've grown to really appreciate Dustin. So, but with that being said, I think Benoit stops him. Is this 5 rounds? Because it's the co-main? No, I think it's just 3. No, I think it's just 3. Especially if it's 3. I think it's 3. I think he stops him. But I mean, well, I don't know. Especially with Benoit saying having a takedown advantage over him. He's just on a train. He's just on like he's just fucking a beast of a man. Yeah. I think he finishes him. Granted, he hasn't been, I don't believe he's been to a 3rd round in a very long time. Yeah, the last time he went to a 3rd round was his really only loss, and that was a decision. But after that, he's been finish, and all relatively quick too. So, and even before that, finish, no contest, finish. So really, his one loss was he just got outpointed and outskilled in that fight. But everything after that has been him finishing his opponents. And I think it's the same. I think he finishes Dustin. I think The thing, and I think what makes him so scary is the simple fact that he can do it on the feet or he can do it on the ground because he has that takedown advantage over Dustin. Dustin has never really been known for having good wrestling ability. He's not bad on the ground, but he's not great either. He's literally right in the middle. So I'm leaning towards Saint. I'm leaning towards Benoit. I think, if I'm being honest, I think he stops him quite early on. I think he stops him in the second round. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he stops him in the second round. But woo! The main event, people. We made it. We made it to the main event, man. We made it. We made it to the main event. Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera. Now, woof, I got to stretch for this one. This fight is going to be interesting just for two reasons. One, obviously, Chito is the only person to beat O'Malley ever. Two, who has the striking advantage? That would be my honest question, is who would have the striking advantage? Because obviously O'Malley does have a 2-inch reach on Vera. He is taller. But you see these right here? You see these? The lower body? Those legs are packed with vibranium. And I would be terrified if I am Sean getting kicked by these. I'm going to be very honest with you. If I am Sean O'Malley, I am checking or I'm just moving the fuck out the way of those leg kicks. Knees, legs, jumping knees, flying knees. Get those bitches away from me. Go. Move them, man. Move them. I'm being so honest. Because him kicking I think he kicked some nerve in his knee or some shit that shut down his leg. And O'Malley that's essentially what cost him the fight when they did fight. So I would lean towards more O'Malley because this fight is not going to the ground. This fight is 100% not going to the ground. And I would be shocked if this fight doesn't go past the third round. I'd be shocked if this fight ends in the second round. I would wholeheartedly be shocked because I think this fight has potential to really go all 5 rounds. And I think this fight probably will end in decision. And with that being said, I think this fight ends with O'Malley getting his hand raised. Just for the simple fact that I think O'Malley has gotten better from that one loss that he has received from Vera with not knocking out, but essentially finishing Aljamain Sterling, hanging in there with Peter Yan and actually doing quite a significant amount of damage to Peter Yan. And just simply, you can just see the one thing that I noticed just from O'Malley, just seeing from that Cheeto fight when he lost to where he is now, he is very fast. That nigga is very, very, very fast. Like deceptively fast. He know how to pick his spots. He know how to get where he wants to, whether it be with his legs, whether it be with his elbows, whether it be with his knees. He can get to his spots very, very, very deceptively. It's very fast. Got long, linky arms, obviously having the reach over Cheeto. So I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if this fight ends in some type of finish. I'd be shocked. I don't think O'Malley's finishing Cheeto, and I don't think Cheeto's finishing O'Malley. I think this ends in a decision. I think this ends in a split decision in favor of O'Malley. But let's quickly look at these division rankings real quick. Let's just quickly look. Not heavyweight. I wanted to look at. I wanted to go look at bantamweight real fast. Ooh, hold on. Let me find out, man. MVP gonna fight that nigga Leon. Leon will beat the shit out that nigga MVP. Let me stop. But who's gonna fight this man? Who's gonna fight him? That's the better question. Who's gonna fight that guy? Who's gonna fight that guy? I wanted to go. Where is bantamweight at? Damn, it's all the way down. Here it is. So bantamweight. Obviously, with the main event being in the bantamweight division, Sean, if he wins, I just like to do this sometimes. Go and look who their potential next opponent will be. Sean, obviously, most likely next in line will be Marab, but with being, him being the champ, he kind of has a say in who he wants to fight and things of that nature. And to see how Marab manhandled Henry Cejudo in their last fight, if I'm O'Malley, I'm a little bit hesitant trying to get in there with him because Marab, especially in a 5-round setting, who just continuously attacks and attacks and attacks and attacks. And I'm not talking about with the stand-up game. I'm talking about wrestling. Strictly just wrestling, getting you to the point where you're exhausted. And that's what he did to an Olympic gold medalist in Henry Cejudo, arguably one of the greatest combat sports athletes we've ever seen in our lifetime. And he, granted, nigga's not in his prime, no, but still, Marab just manhandled him all night long. So it'll be interesting because looking outside of Marab, Sterling is moved up to lightweight. Sterling is most likely gone. He's in featherweight. I mean, he's gone, especially with Ilya beating Volk, depending on whether they run it back or not. Sterling is gone from the bantamweight division. We can essentially exclude this name. Cheeto is obviously fighting for the title, so again, exclude that. Corey, if they for some reason skip past Marab, which I don't think they do if O'Malley wins, but if they somehow skip past him and we have a Corey Sandhagen versus, I don't know, O'Malley, that would be interesting. Cejudo, again, I don't see them giving it to him because he lost. We got to see how Peter Yan performs. And even then, I don't think you give it to him. And then after that, you have just a bunch of really, really Cheeto's not supposed to be getting this fight, but because they have history, that's the only reason why. But yeah, I don't see really no one else being next in line for the belt against O'Malley except Marab. I think that's the only one that realistically makes sense, in my humble opinion. And obviously, if Cheeto beats O'Malley, you run it back. You run it back. I think you run it back. Or if you want to be different, if he wants to say, fuck it, I'm not going to do the conventional, running back and, give it to whoever's next in line. Cheeto versus Corey? Cheeto versus Corey wouldn't be that bad. It obviously wouldn't sell as much as a Cheeto versus O'Malley 2 or 3, even the case. But obviously, if O'Malley loses tonight, I'd be very shocked if they don't announce the rematch right away. But with that being said, that is it. That is all she wrote for episode 22 of the Lazy Cast. Again, sorry I've been gone for so long, but never fear. I'm here, and I will be here more consistently. I know I've said that quite a many times, but I'll be here more consistently, with the bull season wrapping up this month, and I don't start baseball until really summertime. So I'll have a lot of free time on my hands, which means more free time for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys like this video, make sure you comment what you like about it. What didn't you like about it? Comment, like, subscribe, post notice, let you know when I upload, share it with everyone that you know. And yeah, I've been your greatest host, Jalen. I really do appreciate you guys sticking this shit with me. You know, figuring out on my own and just doing all that stuff. Yeah, man. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be your greatest host, Jalen, again. Yeah, I will see you guys later this week. Yeah, see y'all later this week. Bye bye.